was the intro.
That's the intro. Welcome to our yet to be named podcast. We are the voice of the voiceless. And we're going to talk today about some fun stuff.
Right, kids?
Right, kids? Yeah. What an intro.
Yeah. This is an evolving process, so give us time. What we really wanted to talk about today was, starting at the beginning and starting with our identity, what Nutrex is, what Nutrex should be, and what should go into the birth and culture of a brand. Chris and I talk about this all the time. You've been involved in these conversations.
Mind melds.
It's important to figure out who you are as a company if you want to move forward. And we started the process of really redefining what Nutrex truly is, I think.
Refining.
Yes.
Exactly, because Nutrex started off as a very hardcore brand. And they established themselves as something like super gritty, raw, scientifically backed, edgy, and over the years, it's hard to stay attuned to your original identity, and you go through identity crises. And I think we went through that, and even to this day, it's like, how could you further refine your voice and who you are, your messaging, your actions, your behaviors? And I think it progressed to kind of where we are right now, at a really cool pivotal moment in the brand with Carly, and there's cool Nutrex
We got the
script on it, and Sean has it on his what is that, your left boobie?
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful boobie. And I think we're at a great point, though. Yeah. It's really cool to see like the metamorphosis that we went through, and now with the heavy division and working with some really cool brands, it's like, how could we portray ourselves as being like a group of who we are? I think badasses, without ego or telling people we're badasses. It's by what we do and what we represent, who we support. I think that does all the talking for us.
You can't tell people you're a badass. If you're the person that tells people you're a badass.
He does it all the time.
I rarely call myself a badass.
My name's Shannon, and I'm a badass. Like every time he comes in the room.
But
Shannon.
It's the people that say it are the ones that aren't.
Yeah,
you can always so we want to be the ones that carry a big stick but don't need to use it. That's
Sean and his big sticks.
Yeah, and he has big sticks in his car, just in case.
Carries them around.
Yeah.
Well, I am an aspiring drummer.
I was talking to Liz on the call yesterday, and Mike was in there, and we're talking about the people that are like ultra machismo, that are like, I'm an alpha lion or alpha wolf, or you know what I mean, that kind of thing. And they're never that way. They're never really that way. That's just this facade that they put on. So we got into ChatGPT and we asked it to make us some like one-liners like that for troll posts, and some of the shit was so fucking obscure. But it was like, this is what these kind of people would say.
Yeah.
Or it's like, you're the hunter, you need to go hunt the lion and whatnot like that. And it's just so disingenuous. And anyways, that's like the antithesis of what Nutrex is, because I think that is just really lame and phony, and a lot of posers kind of do that. I think everybody here is just raw, natural, and take it or leave it kind of thing.
I think there's even that has evolved. People have been wanting to be like, there's always alpha and betas. But now not over the last 5 years, Sigma has become
the new alpha kind of thing.
Well, it's not even a new alpha. It's like, I don't exist inside your binary system. I'm not an alpha. I'm just I'm somebody that just exists how I am, and if you could choose to accept it or not. And I'd like that to kind of bleed into our world,
Come back. I think authenticity is one of the most important things, and that's in like our moral code, is just authenticity, loyalty, resolve. And authenticity to me is the most important thing, because everybody's fake these days. We have filters, we have AI, and everybody edits their photos. Nobody has a small waist like that, or big boobs, or gigantic muscles and whatnot. And we've never done anything to that extent ever on anything that we do, because I think the more authentic you are, the more vulnerable you're comfortable with being, the more magnetic you are, and it attracts people that are like-minded, and people want to connect to something, adhere to something. And the superficial bullshit out there makes it really difficult to do these days, and it's even hard to distinguish what is real, what's fake.
Yeah. And it's hard to kind of bring that in. When I came on, I think the first thing I said in the meeting, in the interview, was it's your social media is plastic. It's very fake. And I think that with some of the visions that you've had, me, Shannon, was about.
By the way, people, my name is Sean.
It's not. It's his government name is Shannon.
It was Shane.
Shannon.
Progressed.
Was we just wanted to be us. We wanted to show like we're not just some plastic media thing. It's not just a bunch of advertisement. We care about this company. We care about what we do. Like it's all the stuff that I create with Shannon and with Chris. Like we all put thought into it. We put our heart and souls into it. And I think that's changed dramatically from when I started to now. And then even aligns with what your vision and what you are doing behind the scenes. Like you were already kind of making that work. It just hasn't really hit the socials.
Front facing.
Wasn't front facing. It was all this behind. Like you were doing all this cool stuff, but it wasn't really getting out there like you wanted.
That's the hardest thing too. That's what me and Shannon have been talking about quite a bit lately.
It's not Sean anymore.
I
It's
want to
just
show
Shannon.
people the daily workings of Nutrex and what we go through, because we work on so much dope stuff, and the processes that we go through, the rigors that we have, the methodologies that we have, and the fun that we have doing it. It's super cool. And just coming up with like that logo, or coming up with the shirt designs that we do, some of the more heavy metal stuff, our hardcore stuff. It's a great fun process. And a lot of other brands, unlike us, they hire out, and we have such a good design team that we do everything internally. And not many people know that, but we have incredible designers, very incredible creatives, and we don't outsource. We do all that here in-house. And I think having your own internal creative lab like that is super special, and it's rare these days because everybody will use 10 other agencies to do everything for them. These are all our ideas. Like, we're in the trenches, you know what I mean? Giving our blood to get this shit done.
So we tend to get our ideas of where we want to be from our past, right? Like if you could reach back,
like past trauma, or
not past trauma, but like if you could think back,
But also, yes.
Shauna trauma, you know what I mean? Shauna.
Sean's gonna get into his Shannon.
There you go.
think to your like formative years. What is the one brand you identified with, like in your teens, that was like, if you were like, it could be whatever product, it doesn't matter. But what was that one brand that spoke to you and was like, yeah, that's me, that's who I am?
For me personally,
Yeah.
So it is a brand, but it's a band. It was Metallica. It was like when I first heard Kill 'Em All when I was probably like 10 or 11. I was like, this is just so fucking violent and sick, And I read their lyrics. It's like, oh man, metal's awesome. So, but Metallica is a brand. Like they've done an incredible job, and they're massive, and that became a huge part of my identity. Getting into metal, and I was into classic rock like the Doors and Zeppelin, and those became, because I grew up super poor, so I got like swap meet clothes and Goodwill clothes, so I didn't have a brand, but the bands became like the brands that became a part of my identity, and that's why like we're kind of evolving into this right now, which is super biased and selfish, but why I'm so excited about it, because it's like, oh, this is cool, and I know it could help other people too. So yeah, Metallica was one for me.
Metallica was yours.
But what about you guys? That's a great question.
Because I didn't really understand. Like, even to this day, I don't really care about brands in that sense. Like of like clothing. Like I love thrift store. To this day, I still thrift store hand-me-downs.
Comfortable worn-in clothes.
Yeah,
like it's awesome.
Just going off of something. I like that you. But I would say like on what he's saying. Like Eminem was my big one. Like nice. I was so obsessed.
Yeah.
Everything that he ever did, like I had to have it. I would listen to his CD just over and over. Explains a lot about me as a person now that I'm thinking about this.
Ohio,
but Ohio had to bring it in. But that was like my formative years.
Well, well, to me, growing up as a skater kid, it was like
Powell.
It wasn't like Powell was cool, but like it almost wasn't cool.
Yeah.
The people who
commercialized.
It was commercialized. Yeah. But when there's a picture of Team Alva from the 80s, and they were just all wearing leather jackets. Most of them had dreadlocks.
Yeah.
Like it was just the toughest looking. They looked like a street gang, not like a skate team.
early Harley Davidson days.
Yeah, like
What was your
Hell's
style
Angels and
back
shit.
then? That's a good question. What was your style?
I
I was
gotta
like,
pull up some pictures.
I
so
think
I
you
can
pull up
show
some
you.
pictures.
Yeah.
I was like this wannabe just tomboy. It was
Yeah.
very tomboy. Like I didn't really wear makeup at all. I never did my hair. It was
Watching
just
Eminem, so you
was
had that
it-
edginess too. You're
like
like, yeah,
baggy
I'm
t-shirts
hardcore.
sometimes, and sometimes I would dress up. And like my senior year, I kind of got a little girly, but it was just a lot of just wanted to be comfortable.
Yeah.
No, my style hasn't changed. It's
Yeah.
skate tees and skate, like, you know, I still wear skater tees. Like this week I wore my Alva shirt on Monday. It's like,
And you have dope skateboards. You still skateboard.
I still skateboard. Like, well, at 40, I realized something that most people
You dress
don't.
the same, I feel like.
Yeah.
I don't think you ever changed.
No,
No.
but
No.
at
Shannon's
40,
Shannon.
I realized
Stamped.
something that what made 10-year-old, 15-year-old Sean happy makes 40-year-old Sean happy.
Yeah.
So that's when I started getting back into skateboarding. So I went and bought a skateboard, and then here I am 2 years later. Here I am just a couple years later from 40.
Think, think.
That you know, I still buy skateboards. Like I still think, like I still wear Vans, and it's like that was the image that like meant the most to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like I still dress like that, and I don't know, you know, I don't know if I'll ever change. I'll be an 80-year-old guy wearing Van high tops and Powell Peralta shirts.
Tattoos, you know, growing up, they would always, you probably dealt with, because you're Generation Xer, so they'd be like, tattoos, you gotta live with them the rest of your life. Do you want to be a 90-year-old man, grandpa,
How are you gonna live
with
when
a
you're
bunch
90?
of
I'm
tattoos?
gonna look cool.
And you're like, yeah, I'm gonna fucking rock it. But that's part of the identity, and maybe you guys could relate. How I look right now, when I was a young kid, I had that vision of what that man would look like to the T.
Do you guys always know you wanted to be super tatted?
No.
Everything. Yeah, I did from a
I
very
did too.
early
Like,
age.
I mean, as soon as I knew what like tattoos were, like I wanted one.
Yeah,
I remember like
do tattoos.
15, 16, one of my friends got one, and I just remember begging my
Oh.
mom. And I looked at her, I was like, if you don't let me get this, I'm going to just go crazy. As
Run
soon as I
away.
turn 18, it was like,
Get a
it's
tramp
like-
stamp first and foremost, and then who knows where from
It was like
there.
my first week in college. I got a tattoo, and I think I got my belly button pierced.
Really?
Like,
Oh,
yeah,
that's
within like the first week I was there.
That's like the rebel, you know what I mean? Like the breakout.
Well, I my first tattoo was hidden, so my parents wouldn't know
Yeah.
I had it. Like,
What is it, a tramp stamp too?
no,
Mine was kind of like hidden too. It was like on my hip, and they were giving my cousin a hard
This
time because
What
he
was
had
your
like
first
a.
one?
this was my first tattoo. This tiny shamrock.
No shit.
That was the first one, and then I got the cards put around it because it looked so small.
Your shorts weren't that short back then, were they?
Actually, they were pretty short.
Really?
They were pretty short.
Because my shorts, like growing up as like punk skater kid, played music, so you dressed, the whole band attire, and then my shorts just kept getting shorter the older I got.
Well, so
And
I
now it's
started
like as short as possible.
I
Like,
started
don't want the
short,
short.
Yeah,
and then we
it was
went
like-
longer,
publicly acceptable
and
kind
now
of
I'm
thing.
back
Yeah.
to short because I
I
find
love
it
my
insane.
compression shorts. Like
Yeah.
I just like that's why I wear mostly
Girls
in the
have a
gym.
cheat code because you could like once the like it was Lululemons that kind of started it years ago, and Lululemon's way overpriced, and I used to love it. I'm like, I don't care anymore. But now women could wear the most comfortable clothes, and it's like totally fine. I'm definitely jealous of that.
Oh yeah,
So you,
we
like,
can get
you're
away
so
with. We can put some
limber and
leggings on and
flexible.
put some socks and some
Yeah, and
cute
it's like
shoes
full
that people
outfit,
think
you're
yeah,
good
it's
to
a
go.
full
You
outfit.
can start your own style like that. I would
Get some
I-
leggings. You can pull off
get
some
some
leggings.
I think we should do short shorts though, because
I'm
people
a,
have asked
I am
about
a
it.
short guy. That is me.
Yeah, it's super comfortable. You can wear them anytime, any place.
I'm a
you know?
Magnum PI 1980s corduroy shorts. Like, let's go.
Yeah.
I'm in. But you know what's
The
funny?
nut huggers. The more hugging they could be, the
Or,
better.
well, unfortunately, with those shorts, it's not so much a hugger. You gotta be careful someone doesn't fall out the side.
Yeah, that's a publicly acceptable part of it.
You're welcome all for that visual.
The one thing that though seems that like all of our images had in common, even though mine was skateboarding, it was still that punk
Culture.
culture, and
Yeah.
it's like
the
music. Is,
rebellious, like fuck the social status or the status quo.
yeah, and it's all
Yeah.
about and like the music was like when you really think about it, and I hate to sound cliche, but music really is the soundtrack to your life.
Yeah,
Like
for
when
sure.
when you think back, like when I think back of the times of like skating with my boys, it was like blasting Agent Orange, blasting. Like, I don't know if you guys know who Agent Orange is. It's like an old school
Oh yeah.
punk band.
Minor Threat. Yeah.
Minor Threat. 7 Seconds. Like,
yeah.
we would blast this music.
Bad
and,
Religion.
like, it was just like, you know, and we weren't great skaters. Some of us were better than others. And I would, you know, but it was like, it was such a bonding experience.
Yeah.
So when I think about that music, that really like, or I think about that time, it's always in the context of music, which is what I think is so cool about where we're going right now with Heavy Division.
Yeah.
And I think like
Eminem will have something like that.
yeah, but like heavy doesn't just have to be
Heavy metal.
heavy metal.
No.
It's like it's
What moves you? What
it's
gets
what
your
moves
body
you.
like moving?
Yeah.
Yeah.
and so like for I guess this is a good place to
Segue.
into that is like talking about what we're doing going forward with Heavy Division, because I think it's something that we're on the, you know, like we're the vanguard of, really. Like, people have done it before with music,
Trailblazers,
but
man.
but no one's done what we're doing.
Yeah.
They've sponsored bands, but that's not the idea here. We're not a band sponsor.
Mm-hmm.
We are literal just support for
Yeah.
for the scenes.
Feel for these people. Yeah. That's the wildest thing.
Where did you get the idea? Like, when did it hit you? Like, was like, I want to do this. Let's make this happen.
Yeah. When I owned my previous company, Inspired, I sponsored Chris Lemasters. For people that don't know, they could look him up. Super cool guy. He reached out, and it was probably like 6 years ago. Cold emailed me, and he wrote an email like, as emotional as what Cole would write. You know what I mean? And he just was like, what is it? It's masks off kind of thing.
And you didn't know him prior to that, right?
No, didn't know anything about him.
That's crazy.
The intro, hey, my name's Chris. I've worked with Norma G, and I have a brand named Teeth. And then he went on this whole timeline of his life and how Inspired Supplements like helped change the trajectory that he was on. And like a lot of people, like he went through some very dark moments in his life, and he had this kind of, you know, awakening moment, like, fuck, if I don't do anything different, like I'm always gonna feel like shit. I'm depressed, like nothing is going my way, because his mindset was just stuck in such that dark place, the low energy place. So he reached out, and I saw Norma G, and I looked up his band Teeth, and I was like, oh, this is so fucking cool. You know, I was blown away. I'm super stoked. So we established a relationship. Then I ended up bringing on a bassist that played for All That Remains, which is another one of my all-time favorite metal bands. And I was like, man, this is really cool. And at that moment, I was doing everything, so I didn't see the scope like we do with Heavy Division, because now we have such an awesome team to support and grow it. It was just like, wow, dude, if I could support musicians and talk to musicians and make friends, I'm like, this is a win for me, you know? So it's purely just like, hey, let's hook you guys up, make sure you have what you need on the road, and help me grow the brand. So fast forward to now, having the relationship with Chris, and Chris knows everybody, like all the coolest fucking people in the world.
Every time I want to call, he just another name, and I'm like, hey, gosh.
Yeah.
like mind blown.
He
That's
knows
crazy.
all my guitar heroes. And he's like, yeah, I talked to so-and-so. I'm like, you son of a bitch, dude. I'm like, God damn it. Yeah.
Click.
I know.
I'm done talking
I
to you.
always tell him,
Hang
like,
up on him.
I'm living vicariously through him, because he gets to have like a life that I really wanted at that time. Like, he's living it, and I just think it's so fucking cool, because I get to hear the stories and feel like I'm a part of it. And so now, music has been done in our industry a couple times. I'm not going to mention the brands that did it, but it was like a colossal failure. It was a joke, you know what I mean? It's because people look at it as something super cliche, cheesy, gimmicky.
Yeah.
So with like Heavy Division, that's why I think it's, in my opinion, good to go with the heavy metal, because we're not like, hey, we want to go after a pop star. We want to go after somebody that's so famous and mass market and whatnot like that. We're saying like, no, this is niche. It's not for everybody. And we don't expect everybody to like it. And that's totally fine, because it's for us, and it's something that really drives us. And fortunately, a lot of people on our team, like especially Zach was like, dude, I'm so fucking stoked on this. Like,
Zach
finally,
was
I feel like
super
something
stoked. He's like, I want to be
I'm
a part of this
resonating
so
with.
bad.
Yeah, he's so amped up. So being able to start out in a genre that's not very popular, I think is awesome, because it just shows that like this is what we're into, and we're not trying to be like famous. I'm not trying to be like, hey, look at Nutrex now, follow us now, because we're doing cool shit. We're doing our own thing that, you know, at least I'm very passionate about, that I think is just so fucking dope, and the upside of being able to make these relationships with incredible people. The three people that we have on right now, which is going to be growing very fast, are just incredible souls. Like, they're super dope people. A lot of them have families, they have kids. I mean, they're professional musicians, but they have a life outside of that. And they all have a story of where they started, similar to Chris, where they started in this dark place and they had this realization that I cannot continue on this path or it's going to lead to something even worse, you know?
What do you think is the catalyst of that shift in attitude from the metal scene not really caring about health, fitness? What do you think has been the catalyst in making that change?
I don't know. I honestly question that, because you had people like Henry Rollins.
Yeah, he was always jacked.
You know, Glenn Danzig and the Misfits. You know, the whole band was pretty jacked, but it was looked at as so taboo. When I grew up, everybody that was in a band, including myself, would look at people that were in shape and would just hate on them. We're like, jocks, you're a bunch of losers. You know what I mean? And that has shifted, and I don't know what the catalyst was, but it's become like a massive movement in the space where some of these musicians are working out. They're very well respected. So other musicians that might be hesitant to it are like, yeah, maybe I should take this serious.
I also think it's a different lifestyle that people are living now. Like, for me, example, and I know some other people here are like that, where I was living that rock star lifestyle. Not necessarily, I wasn't a rock star, but I was drinking heavily.
That lifestyle,
I was living it though. And for me, I think a lot we're seeing, you know, some of our people that we idolize they're getting older and they look like crap because they're dropping dead at like ages that they shouldn't be.
Yep.
And I think we saw that, and then now we're like, okay, we don't want to be like that. Or it's just you're taking a toll. For me, it took a toll on my life. And I had to wake up one day and be like, I don't want to live like this anymore. And it was, I essentially had to reinvent myself. I had to reinvent my friends. I lost a lot of my friends from that time frame. And I think that's where I see a lot of people, like when I started talking about my sobriety online, I made friends just from talking about that. People I would have never have spoken to because they relate to that. Because they were like, I was here. And I think that's what it is. So they're like, okay, if I want to keep doing what I love, doing what I see, something has to change. And I think that's something that I think we as a team share just from other conversations I've had with people, is that it's a lifestyle change for your family, for yourself, for a better life. And people are seeing the impact of, if you don't, this is where you're going to be dropping dead at 50, 60. It's like, that when you're younger, this seems so far away, but then you start getting older and you're like, okay, that's not.
You're there.
You're like, okay, I'm here.
Better do something quick.
I wonder if there's like, because Chris and I were talking this morning about what really truly makes Nutrex customers, people like buy in, and I truly believe it's like we attract people who are not afraid to work hard.
Yes.
And I wonder if that has something to do with it. And I think there's a global, you know, there's a shift in like, and as far as like what people like, I've worked hard in this for this, and then so everything else is easy. But then they start going, well, what if I start working hard on this aspect too? What can I accomplish? I'm wondering if there's like been some kind of catalyst to show people that more is possible. Like, I can't think of anything, you know, like, as weird as this sounds, is like, maybe it's like you're seeing people like The Rock and John Cena, who are worked incredibly hard to be like the pinnacle of pro wrestling. And now they're at the pinnacle of acting. Stardom. Yeah. So it's like, I wonder if like something like that might have showed people like, there's more. There's more. I don't need to be awesome in just one thing. I could be awesome in every aspect of my life.
Yeah.
Looking at that next step of like, okay,
I did this. Pandemic. I think the pandemic put people into a very dark place. And once people got down to that bottom, they felt hopeless. And some people stayed down there, and it's tragic. But a lot of people needed that to really wake them up, myself included. Went through severe alcoholism. I mean, it became such an integrated part of my life because everybody's business in America was like, you know, and some never recovered from it. Yeah. Thank goodness that we did. But it's such a dark spot that I was like, I'm going to die soon, for sure. And I already had one kid at that time and a lovely wife. And doing what I was doing was completely selfish to myself.
Yeah.
It was fulfilling something inside of me, like a void that couldn't be filled with substances, but I was trying to, because I was just so addicted to these highs and whatnot, not considering all the other people around me. And I think a lot of people had that awakening, like you said. Like, how could you do what you love, regardless of what it is, music, working out, or working, or anything? How could you do what you love if your vessel isn't intact? And now people are saying, like, I want to live longer. I don't want to be 60 and feel like shit. I don't want to be 70 and feel like shit. So if I don't do something right now, I'm setting myself up for failure in the future. So everything that we're doing right now is preparing for the future. Like, that's what we do every single day. Whether it's like a short-term game, like growing the company or something like that, or relationship, or whatever it is, like you're preparing your vessel for the future. But I think the catalyst for a lot of people was a pandemic, because it went to such a low level of
isolation.
I mean, the world felt apathy, complete hopelessness. Are we ever going to get out of this? Anything. Then we get out of this, and there's nothing to prepare us to go back into the workplace or anything. So it really left it on people, and a lot of people took ownership of it and accountability and said, like, fuck that, dude. I was at such a dark spot. I could remain there if I choose to, but ultimately it's a choice. And a lot of people made a choice for the better. Some people needed help. Some people did it on their own. And I think what Nutrex provides is that help. Mm-hmm. We believe that everybody could do it on their own, but human beings evolved to have communities. We evolved as tribal creatures because that's how we protected ourselves. We needed to have unity with people in order to have a place where we felt comfortable to grow and flourish and whatnot. And my ultimate goal, like with you guys, is to create that community where people feel welcome, but they feel like they could be themselves, express themselves, and really reach like their true potential, but not to get political, everybody, but the government's not going to come and save us at all.
Nobody's
going to come and save you. So if you don't take accountability on yourself, then you could fucking forget about it. Nothing's easy in life. Everything fucking hurts at one point or another. Pain is like the only constant. And if you're always searching, like I did, for a solution to numb the pain with like alcohol, the pain is always there. You're just pouring something on it to be able to try to dilute it down temporarily, and it doesn't do anything long term. And some people have that with food, with other substances, with relationships. There's all these vices, right? But the biggest thing that I want to do with Nutrex is to provide that environment where people that join us, like our team and our athletes, are like, they become their best versions of themselves. And that sounds like cliche or cheesy, but really, like, people need to have that community, because we all have this sense of belonging in us, and I want to be able to fulfill that in people so they could really achieve like their most optimum potential. Yeah.
And what's funny is everybody has this need to belong, but they also have this innate need to like stand out. And I don't mean stand out, but stand away from that crowd. Especially like that's the weird dichotomy to me, is like you want to belong so bad, but like, and Chris and I have talked about this. I'm a loner kind of a guy, like, and when I'm at home, I'm
contrarian.
I'm like 90%. If I'm not training jujitsu,
with his wiener dog,
I'm with my dog. Yeah. It's like that's how it goes.
Dog in the backpack on a skateboard, listening to some punk. Shortest shorts in the world.
We need some footage of that. You're gonna have to get that on film and send it.
But what's funny is it comes out of this sense of wanting to belong to this, like
this idea,
right? Like this idea of I am alone. Like I'm almost like there's a group of loners that I want to belong to.
Yeah.
As weird as that sounds, it's like it's a weird thing. And I think what's funny is I think that is that's why a lot of people get into music, is they don't feel like they belong, but they don't want to fit in either. Like a lot of people are like, they want that, they want to belong, but they don't feel like they fit in with the regular people. And I think that's where Nutrex can, like, I don't think we are for regular people.
No. Yeah, I mean, look at us.
Yeah.
I mean.
Well, I think, and to add on is, I don't know if it was you or you said it, but no one's coming to save you. I think about our team and everyone that we work with and people just in my personal circle at home. We're all people that, yes, we have help, but at the end of the day, we're not counting on that help. It's like we are go-getters. We're going to go, like, okay, this is what needs done. Let's do it. What do we need to do? And I think that's a mindset that you don't find in a lot of people.
It's a Capricorn mindset. For
Yes.
Sure. Yeah.
I'm like, I got Capricorn, Stellium, so I'm
Not
like...
every Gemini would get that.
Gemini would not understand.
I do not get
I'm crazy heavy on the Capricorn energy because I'm always looking into what's the next step of myself, my team, the company I work for, my career, like where am I going next? But I do, and it's hard to find
from up. Squirrel.
But I do feel like when you are like that, it kind of can alienate you because like, especially like with dating, it's alienated me because I can't date someone that isn't career driven
really
or it's hard to
Yeah.
find. And then
It's
even
very
with
rare.
my friends, those are the type of people I keep around me. You're just cool being the same. No, like what can I do? How can I help you move forward?
Yeah.
Same thing with our athletes. I always tell them, hey, how can we support you in supporting us and then supporting you? Because if they're flourishing, we're flourishing. Same thing. It goes right back to what we were talking about with the musicians. How are we supporting them to make their lives easier and just spread what we're already doing?
Yeah, that's what's so great to have Chris on board. Patrick's the same way. Bo and Austin is, and I'm a huge believer of this. And it goes same thing with training, everything in life. Like every day you want to make progress, but it's not making jumps of progress. It's making little teeny bitty improvements. And it could be a forward motion of like a fucking centimeter, but you still went forward. And I think heavy division is a representation of that because these are people that started, they didn't take their health into consideration. You know, some started very heavy and lost a lot of weight, which is extremely difficult, especially like to keep off, and they have.
Yeah.
And in an unhealthy
Environment,
like
yeah.
that.
Like your peers aren't exactly like you're thinking, so you have to go through
Because it's
these
hard.
battles every single day. And the biggest thing with heavy division, outside of telling people like, hey, we don't give a fuck about trends, because I don't like popular music just because I'm like him. I'm a contrarian. Like if too many people like something, I'm like, I don't like it. Even if I really like it, I'm like, I'm not gonna do it, you know. And my wife always hates on me like that. She's like, you're such a hater. I'm like, not gonna like it.
Not gonna like it.
But it's about progress. And again, this is not like a machismo alpha thing to say, but you do want to make progress every single day, even if it is so small that it's almost unnoticeable, because all of these things compound over time. And where people go wrong, it's like in every business book and all the books that I've read, it's like you don't want to go for these massive sprints because you wear yourself out and then you get burnt out and then you give up. Same thing with the gym. People will go into the gym, New Year's resolution are people, and they kick their own ass, they get sore, they hurt themselves, and then they quit. So my whole philosophy is like, I know I'm not going to go from right where I am now to the person I want to be in 10 years in a year. I know it's going to take me 10 years. So what could I do to map out a course of these little micro steps every single day? Like I talk to Sean all the time. When you send something, like, don't send it right away. Sit on it for 30 minutes and like really think about it. And we talked about this earlier. It's like, man, I'm second guessing myself. I don't think second guess yourself all the time is a good thing, because you need to be able to make a decision and take action on it. But our first instincts are usually fairly clear, but if it's driven by emotion, then it's clouded by emotion, and that becomes like a swamp. You're not really seeing clearly on that. So what I try to do with all my decisions of progress, it's like, what could I do right now? As small as it is, a fucking grammatical like mistake, fixing it, taking time to learn a definition, something dumb, that's like meaningless to other people, but it's adding to the platform or the foundation that I've already built to allow this like future progress and whatnot like that. And I think it's really important for everything that we do. I think pervades that, constant progress, but you don't have to go climb Mount Olympus tomorrow type thing, but maybe go 50 feet every single day. Yeah. And eventually, you get to whatever peak you're at, and then you want to go higher. So you map out another course. Yeah. And it really never ends.
It'll never end.
No.
That is such a jiu-jitsu analogy. Because I've literally made a video on this the other day, how
triple black belt.
As you go,
is there a quadruple black belt?
It goes up to 8, I think.
Does it really?
Yeah. And then you start changing colors or 7, and then you start changing the colors of your belt to coral belt.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah. But like what I do, there's 5 belts in jiu-jitsu. White belt is where you learn what tools do. Or the fact that you learn that there's actual tools. Blue belt, you learn how to work those tools. Purple belt, you learn what tools work for you best. Brown belt, you sharpen those tools to their maximum. And then Black belt is where you go back to the toolbox and you start learning new tools
To add to what you
what you're
honed
doing.
over time, kind of thing.
So
Yeah.
That's
a great analogy for life in general.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a really good analogy.
How the fuck have you brought that up
Yeah.
before? Look at this. Look at this shit.
What the heck, Shannon?
Shannon.
Shannon! God damn it, Shannon!
Whenever I bring up pro wrestling or jujitsu,
Two different things.
I get pooped on.
No. Pro wrestling is a passion of yours, which I respect.
Well, it's not really. It's just
You bring it up all the time.
well, yeah, because I do bring up pro wrestling all the time.
His buts and becauses are infinite.
Right,
If
but
we could,
it's
if we
not
could
that I'm
reduce those by 1 or 2, that's the inch
The-
progress that I'm talking
so-
Less bowls.
about. Yeah, less
So,
bulls, no butts.
Pro wrestling is
Bulls and butts.
more or less to show. When I bring up pro wrestling, it's more to show the relationship between what the like entertainment is or what the people are. It's like it's good and bad. People want drama. People want to see.
I don't know where he's going with this.
Well, I'm just saying. Like
I'll make a point here.
professional wrestling is the personification of Greek theater. It's always good versus evil.
Yeah.
And people want that. People like we are innately because we're all fighting that inside. We're all fighting our good and evil, or our good and evil nature is always fighting inside of us. So professional wrestling, as weird as this sounds, is a personification of that struggle. So it's more the art of it that or the idea of it that it's personified. And it's like if you see MMA, the top MMA fighters that get paid the most aren't usually the best fighters.
No.
They're the ones that have.
Conor McGregor's kind of.
They're the ones that have learned to become either that bad
villain.
guy, that villain.
Yeah.
Because people either want to pay to see you get beat up, or they want to pay somebody
So you win.
Right.
to see you win. So, and I think that's a psychology and a philosophy that we can implement into our stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like that's where that.
So who would be the villain of Nutrex?
The villain of Nutrex
That's
is
a cool
laziness.
question. Pull that out of
Yeah.
the bowl of suggestions from our audience.
Definitely.
Yeah, to me that's laziness. The villain of Nutrex
Mediocrity.
is mediocrity, laziness. It's that voice inside your head that says, "Don't get up. The bed is comfortable.
Yeah.
Just lay here. The gym will be
The
there."
Marcus Aurelius kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know, so much more easy to stay in a nice warm bed. You know, not get up until the sun's up. The cold floor. You don't want that. Like, I do that with cold showers because I'm just a sadist in that regard, and I try to get everybody to take cold showers. And they usually don't understand like the whole meaning behind it. When I first told Sean, he's like, cold showers blunt recovery. It's a constrictor because it's cold and all these kind of things, and why not to do it, which are valid if you think of like the biological response in that regard. But I do cold showers because I hate them. They're difficult. I have to force myself to do it, and your brain is neuroplasticity, right? You have to do something continually until it like really sticks. So I look at everything that's difficult. Your body has been evolved to this form to conserve energy. So when you go through something difficult, your body tells you no, because you need to conserve the calories that you have so you could survive another day. And that's just what we're dealt with. So every time you go like, man, I'm not going to lift that lifting weight, way too heavy, then you push through it and wow, your strength is fucking growing because you're adapting to it. I look at like daily things that I do over a long period of time. It's like, how long could I do something that I truly do not enjoy before my brain tells me like it's enjoyable? And then you start to incorporate it in it, because if you could rewire your brain to look at these things that would be difficult to other people as something that's simple, then you're stronger than them in that regard. And if you could do that with a lot of different things, then you're strengthening your vessel to be something that nobody could touch. So even something stupid like cold showers, which I hate, especially when it's like 32 degrees outside, it's ice cold. I do, and I sit there, I'm like, oh, you son of a bitch, why are you doing this? And then I remind myself. It wakes me up, and I do really enjoy them now, but I didn't initially, and I just did it because I just want to beat myself up. And I do that with a lot of things, like reading. I suck at reading. Like, we're both kind of the same. I don't know. You're probably much better at reader than we are. But like ADD, adult ADD,
50
like
Shades of Grey,
attention problems.
You're gonna call me out on that.
So
terrible book,
reading was
actually.
really painful to me. And I didn't read my first book cover to cover until I turned 39. My entire life, like, because I flunked out of school, dropped out of college, just a complete illiterate idiot. So I started applying these things to my life, and with reading, I'm like, you know what? Repetition is how you could create these habits that strengthen you. I was like, what if I read 1 page a day? So I read 1 page a day, even the days that I fucking didn't want to read because I'm like, I can't focus right now because I'm stressed because everything at Nutrex, my life and everything. Then it became 2 pages a day. And I'm like, you know what? Let me see if I could do 10 pages a day. And now I read 30 minutes in the morning and 30 minutes at night. But it took me, because I'm 41 now, it took me from beginning of 39 till now to incorporate into my life where it's something what I call daily non-negotiables, like taking a cold shower, do, whatever it is that you want to do, to where it's incorporated into my identity now. And I'm like, fuck, if I could do this, like what else could I do? And when I first started here, not to go on a super long tangent, I didn't know paid media through like Meta, and Mike knew it. He's the only one that knew it here. I'm like, fuck, dude, I really got to learn this. So this was when I was 38, before I started reading, every morning I'd get up and I'd watch YouTube videos, 30 minutes of it, and I would take notes the whole time. And I did that for over a year to learn everything. And now I know everything about paid media and whatnot like that. So I think doing difficult stuff could be as dumb as like a cold shower for me to rewire a brain, or it could be as beneficial as like retaining knowledge or learning something new because all the information's out there. You just got to apply yourself to be able to get it. And I think that's something that we got to teach more at Nutrex because it could really help people out because nobody likes doing hard shit. It sucks being in pain. It sucks being uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Like we don't want that,
Comfort. So it's weird is your comfort is a killer because it kills everything.
Yeah.
But at the same time, doing new things, doing hard things could kill you as well.
Yeah.
If you're gonna die, you might as well push your
Try making progress.
Die making
Making
progress
progress.
and pushing your limits than laying on the couch, with a bowl of chips.
Yeah.
And channel surfing.
Comfort is a killer, 100%. That's like a whole podcast that we could talk about in itself because, again, this is how we evolve. So once you start looking like a biological adaptation to things, why we are the way we are, because in our genetic code, that when we go through difficult moments, like our body tells us to run away because we got to conserve energy to live another day and run away from some gigantic bear, you know what I mean? Or saber-toothed tiger back then and whatnot. We're still those human beings. We're still those creatures at those times. So we see through the lens of this ancient like figure. So to be able to rewire that, you have to force yourself to go through these things. And comfort is a killer, dude. I hate laziness. I hate thinking of a life of mediocrity and whatnot like that. And a lot of people are fine with that and, do whatever floats your boat. But that's not what Nutrex is about at all. So that's what
I think people that find Nutrex feel that same way.
Yeah.
I really do.
That's why you either like vibe with it or you're like, man, I don't care that much.
And I think
dude.
even our athletes, like when I think about everyone we have, they all have that same mindset. They're all hungry to go on to whatever's next, to grow
they're
themselves,
hardworking.
grow with us in any way.
Yep.
That's what I love about this company.
That's going to tell them more stories about jiu-jitsu belts.
Yeah,
So that's pretty valuable. Thanks for
I
holding on
got
action
all
for
kinds
3
of
years.
knowledge. You guys know that. None of it.
Pop culture knowledge.
Pop culture knowledge.
Mostly like useless knowledge, but still entertaining.
So
you know?
entertaining knowledge. It's good knowledge.
Pro wrestling knowledge, But
Well, I think that's a good place to call this a day.
yeah.
So we're gonna make this hopefully a weekly, or at least
Bi-weekly.
bi-weekly.
We'll do as much as we can.
Right.
Okay.
We're gonna do as much as we
try,
can.
okay?
All right. But for our next one, please give us some topics you'd like us to talk about. Again, we've got Chris has been in the industry for the last
My whole adult life.
his whole adult life, so like 10 years, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
So
the last 3 years.
Feels like 10,000.
I've never been an adult.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
but literally every single person in here has their own interest as far as fitness is concerned.
Yeah,
Chris has done
absolutely.
bodybuilding. Carly is a competitive power lifter or weightlifter. What is it?
Powerlifter.
Powerlifter.
Muscle
Good job.
mama.
Yeah, I am a competitive jiu-jitsu athlete, even in my 50s. So it's like we do have experience and we have knowledge. So send us some topics, comment on them below, let us know, and then we'll put your comments in a bowl and we'll pull them out.
Get some bowls.
Yep.
And we'll answer those questions. But until next time, thank you guys for joining us. We'll see you again eventually.
See you when we see you.
See you later.